guys, it's Kristi. I'm going to try doing this video one more time. I got 1 minute and 17 seconds in and my battery died, and so I decided to render the first video I made, and then the Wi-Fi went off. So yeah, I think Xfinity's out there working, and I think they finally left. It's been, gosh, since 11 o'clock this morning, so about 4 hours they've been out there. So anyway, we're moving on. Let's do this cover. I have all 4 of the vertical pages that I'm going to be using from this kit. I've trimmed this down to 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. This will be the mats for the inside. And I've got these. Now originally I wanted to put this on the front, but I cut it wrong on my prototype, and I decided to change it up to do it this way because I actually liked the way it wrapped better. So these are 8.5 by 11, full size. I haven't cut them down at all yet, but the first thing I want to do is glue this envelope, oops, closed, stickier than I thought. I did break down and buy some of the Beacon 3-in-1. I think it was like $4 for a 4-ounce bottle on Amazon, and I saved 5% by subscribing. And guys, it took me a long time to break down and buy this, but what they said is true. Number 1, it does stink, but number 2, it dries extremely fast and it holds really quick. So for making videos, you know, it's probably the best. I mean, look at that. I didn't have to fight with it at all. Now you do want to use it in a ventilated room. I have a large room here, so okay, so this is, like I said, this is a 9 by 12 envelope, just a regular manila envelope. You could use whatever color you have. These happen to be like a school bus orange. I'm just going to fold this in half. This will work with any size envelope, depending on the size journal you want to make. So I'm going to, where's my bone folder? Suppose I should double check and make sure that I am recording. Yes, the counting is going down. The other day I thought it was recording and it froze completely. So these envelopes, you'll notice they're not perfectly straight, but by the time you get all your pages in and everything, you're not going to notice if it's off a 1/16 of an inch from your fold. So the next thing I'm going to do is attach my piece of Tyvek to the center, and like I said on the intro, you don't have to have the Tyvek. Use a piece of tape, use a piece of cardstock, use a piece of fabric if you want, whatever. Just something for when we're sewing, so that the threads don't pull all the way through. And yeah, I must admit, I didn't want to pay the extra for this glue, but being as it was $4, I thought I'd give it a try, and I am impressed with it. So I'm going to set this aside for a second, and we're going to glue these pieces together. Normally when I print this out myself, I'll enlarge the pages, and I have like a 2-inch overlap. So I think you'll see on my previous video, I think I said there was a 2-inch overlap, but because of the design and the way I want it to wrap with this design, I'm only overlapping about 1 inch. So I'm just going to go. I also like that this bottle is easy to squeeze, and it has a pretty small amount of glue coming out. It's not like a humongous surge of glue, at least not yet. So I'm just lining that up. I scored about 1 inch in so that I get an idea of where to line that up. Now this does grab, so you have a little bit of working time, but not as much as you would have with a wet glue. Now, I mean, it's wet glue, but this has acetone in it. So instant grab, fast dry. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. If you can stand the smell of nail polish remover, you're good to go. Okay, so let's flip this over, and now we want to attach this. Now, this is our cover, so I'm putting it face down. This is the inside, and yes, I know that's crooked, but it doesn't matter. As long as the fold is covered, it doesn't matter, because this is all going to be completely covered. And I'm trying to figure out exactly where that this kind of went off the edge a little bit, because I don't, yeah, that's perfect. So I'm going to be a little bit closer to this side. Maybe, what is that? Inch and a quarter, and then center top to bottom. So I'm just going to put some glue on one side. I guess it doesn't matter which one. I'll put some glue on one side, and then I'll put it on the other, because it does grab fast. So this is going to wrap around, so okay, so I'm going to about 1.25 inches and center it top to bottom. That looks pretty good. And then I'll put the glue on this side. There we go. Nice. Now rub it from the other side. What I did with my, yeah, you know what? You don't notice the bumpiness like using the other glue. It kind of flattens out really well. So I'm just going to go over that. I'm sure it's already attached, but habit. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is cut off the corners. So I'm going to trim this down to about 1 inch. Don't need that big old piece on the side. You can use that for something else. In fact, I'll probably come back and put that on the spine right there, because the pieces that I have don't go over that far. I'm going to, well, let's see. Let's cut this down too. Well, I went a little crooked. Want to cut the corners and leave about 1/8 of an inch. Just so that it makes a nice fold. Okay. Keep those for now. You never know what you might want them for. Okay. And I have mentioned this before. If you happen to cut your corners too close, take one of these pieces that you cut off and glue it right here on the part that's too short, and then when you fold these in, you won't notice that white, or in this case orange area that you missed. So I'm just going to pre-fold all these edges. And then we're going to glue them down. So I hope you guys can see all this. I think if I stay close to my black square, I'm pretty good. You have more on the sides than top and bottom. Yeah, that does attach pretty quick. Okay, we'll do down here. I'm just going along the edge, and then along this edge, and then just kind of zigzagging in the middle. Okay, got a little bit. Look at that. It takes the paint right off of everything, so I need a baby wipe. I found these little wipes. I think this little pack of wipes was at Dollar Tree. They're perfect because the last batch I got were way too big, so now I'm going to need some of the acetone to get the paint off my finger, but I probably should put down my my nonstick mat, but I'll try to be more careful. Okay, let's see. Because this is a thin envelope, I'm not really worrying too much about tucking these little corners in, because this is going to go over the side and bring it in. But if I was doing like chipboard or something like that, I'd want to fold those down so that it closed it in. Okay. Just pressing them down a little bit. Yeah, I pre-folded that. Okay. Okay. The thing I have to get used to is closing it every time so it doesn't dry up. Nice. Okay. So let's fold that back up, and you can see on the back I have this rose, and then on the front I have this. I think that turned out nice. I really do like that. This is off just a tad, but yeah, there's not really much I can do about that. It'll be fine. So yeah, I like that. I like that cover. That's gonna be nice. And then probably I will put a coating of wax on here, and I have seen people do it with just a candle and just rub it. It gives it some protection. But I'm going to use my Waverly wax. I buy it, I don't see it. It's around here somewhere. I cleaned up, see? And it got stashed somewhere, but I'll find it. It's just in the chalk paint section at Walmart, and it's Waverly, and it's a wax sealer basically, and I like the way it does. If you don't have that, you can also use the Mod Podge, and if I can't find my wax, then I'll just be using Mod Podge. I would use matte, because for some reason the glossy one likes to stick, and so I'll get the covers that'll stick together, but I don't have that issue too much with the matte, as long as you don't make it too extra thick and gloppy. Okay, so I'm gonna run this piece down the middle of this. Is that the right way up? Yeah. So let me cut that. I'm gonna need that cut at 5. No. 8 3/4. Almost cut it wrong. And this is, bigger than I need, but that's okay. It's just extra reinforcement on the spine. Oops. Okay. And I think it's about 1/8 of an inch between the top and the bottom. And that is just to cover the space in between here because this doesn't quite make it. So, all right. I feel some glue somewhere. Where did it go? Well, maybe I got it already. Okay, so this is the one I'm going to put on the back. Just a very neutral background. So okay. And there again, I cut this so that it's about 1/8 of an inch around. I'll use this one to line it up a little bit. And I haven't inked this or anything yet. The paper is already quite grungy. But I may or may not ink it after it's dry. I'll take a look at it and see what I want to do. But absolutely not necessary to ink everything. When things are actually aged in, you know, naturally, they don't get grungy everywhere necessarily. I mean, some do, some don't. Some will just be on one corner or whatever. But I don't know, I like to grunge everything up. So this will go here. There we go. So there is our cover. Just like that. Fold this back. Like so. And there we go. And like I said, I won't decorate the outside cover until the end because of just handling it so much. I just want to make sure I know pretty much what I want to do for the front. So this is basically going to, you know, go into the background. And somebody asked once, why do you take those beautiful papers and just cover them up? You don't have to. If you want the cover this way, leave it. It is gorgeous the way it is. However, I'm making a Shabby Chic journal, and so I'm going to have to put some Shabby Chic layers on it. I'm going to put some lace and trim, and look at this trim I just found, speaking of. It's gorgeous. It has little rosebuds on it. I think I'm going to do something like that. I'll probably have some other lace with a focal point of some sort, maybe some eyelash trim if I can find my eyelash trim. Guys, my dog, oh my gosh, I have a Chorky, Chihuahua Yorkie, and he got a hold of my eyelash jar. How is that for fabulous? It was under the bed, all wrapped around the stuff I had stored under there. I don't think he ate any of it, I hope, but it was totally just everywhere, tangled on everything. I had to cut it out from under the bed. I have all my canning supplies under the bed, and so he made a huge mess. But I have another one that's like a ivory color that I'll be using for this one. So anyway, that's it for today. So I hope that was easy and you understood it. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.